Do you guys ever just get one of those days where you get up and you're so revved up to practice, and then the moment you sit in front of your instrument, your train of thought just jumps the rail, and then you're left sitting there contemplating life for about the next 5 or so minutes? That just happened. Hey there! So a couple of people have been asking me to make a video of this organ console, all the controls and instruments and capabilities and the like. Unfortunately, even though it doesn't look like it, this instrument is really vast to just put into one video. I mean, Sally Charrington, may she rest in peace, her video regarding stops and registration is like 30 minutes long.
Ain't nobody got time for that!
So what I decided to do instead is to make a series about this on my channel, and I address each concept piece by piece. Not only can I talk about how this organ works, but I can also teach you guys about pipe organs in general. So today, I thought I would discuss what people often notice first when they first encounter an organ console is the keyboards. Art thou ready? Come along with me. So when people come across an organ, the first thing that they usually see and talk about is the stack of keyboards. These keyboards are called manuals, named so because we operate them with our hands. And the stack of manuals is what we call the Keydesk. And each one of these manuals on the Keydesk has a specific job. I'll start off by talking about the grate. The grate manual, so called because it's considered to be the main control center of the entire console. On a 2-manual organ, the grate will be on the bottom. On a 3 or more manual organ, the grate will be just above the bottom one. On a French organ, the grate division is called the Grande Orgue. On a German organ, it's called the Hauptwerk. The grate manual by design is placed at the same height level and distance as the piano would be, making it the most comfortable to play and reach. The grate division also houses the main foundational stops on the organ, such as the most powerful diapasons and principals, the most prominent mixtures, a few strong flutes, a string or two for an added bit of balance, and the most powerful reeds. Next, we will be looking at the Swell Manual. The swell on a French organ would be called récit, and on a German organ it would be called Schwellwerk, and on a jazz organ it would be called who cares, nobody can hear it anyway. And the swell, no matter how many manuals the console has, it'll always be seated above the grate. In terms of volume, the swell is a bit more modest compared to the grate. However, it does contain a larger palette of sounds. For example, it does contain a few principals, many more flutes, and a few organ strings, along with their relative celestes. Next, we will have a look at the choir manual, also sometimes known as positif. Have you ever gone to a cathedral and seen this weird set of organ pipes that are at the very front on the actual terrace of the balcony of the loft? That's what's called a rook positif. Rook meaning back, because it's behind the organ player. Sometimes a positive division can be found on a 2-manual organ, but it's a floating division and you have to couple it to one of the other keyboards via a coupler. However, most of the time it usually has its own manual, which is on the bottom. The choir division is usually the most quiet out of all of the registrations on the rest of the organ. You see, while the congregation is a large group of people, which often requires the grate division to accompany it, the choir division is specifically designed for a smaller group of singers called a choir. Next, we're going to talk about the solo manual, which is always the 4th keyboard up. The solo, as its name suggests, is a division that contains stops designed for solo playing. While this division contains some stops and instruments that can be used for ensemble playing, others would stick out like a sore thumb, not unlike some choir members you may or may not know. Now there are hundreds of organs in venues all over the world that actually have 5 manuals. However, unlike the 4 main manuals, the 5th one doesn't have a set name. They could have many other different names depending on what other divisions there are, such as antiphonal, gospel, gallery, ethereal, celestial. So I hope this was somewhat informative. I'm hoping to make a video like this like once or twice a month. If you guys have any other suggestions or questions that you want me to answer in a video about how this organ or any other pipe organ works, please do let me know in a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please do be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and for watching, and I will see you guys in another video.